And the Gangneung Hockey Center, it is home to the Para Ice Hockey Tournament. And next up on the card in day 2 of the competition, it is the hosts playing their second match, Republic of Korea. You see the victory already, and Czech Republic, their first competition in PyeongChang. The Czech Republic, as we see Korea now taking the ice first. And another expectant crowd here, getting loud already as we are in the countdown in preparations for this massive match. There are 2 groups of 4 in para ice hockey. And with the round-robin format of 3 games, you really need to make hay when the sun shines. And for Czech Republic, this is their first chance with the sun shining to try to come out against a very impressive Korean side. Korea by right are here. They are not here simply by right of hosting it. As we look at the standings in Group B so far, United States of America with the 1 victory from their opening match. Republic of Korea, likewise, it's the differential in the scoring there that puts the Americans up top with that 10-0 victory. Jonathan Morrison, the American in charge, the Canadian Bergenbaum, and on the line it's the Swedish linesman Lundin who's in charge. So it is Korea who are in blue. As we look at them, and they're getting the start again, is their stalwart in goal, Man-Gyun Yun, the 43-year-old. His save percentage, 85.71. He only had to face 7 shots in that match against Japan. And Seung-Hwan Jung, the 40-year-old in charge, and he has got this program going in the right direction. The one you really want to watch, though, the Rocket Man, Seung-Hwan. They had 4 different scorers across this lineup for Korea, so as much as we put the emphasis on 14, they have balance, and they're very efficient, are the Koreans. Yuri Briza, the 42-year-old in charge of the Czech Republic, and they may be teams on different tracks. The Czech Republic in 4 years ago, as we look at their lineup, they, with their captain, Shafranek, number 24, but Michal Geier, 74, one to be looking for as well. But it is 4 years ago that they finished 5th in Sochi. And then they finished 7th in the World Championships in Buffalo in 2015. But they're not a part of the 2017 World Championships in a pool a year ago in this exact building. They've had to come a little different route to get themselves involved into this competition. And there you see Man-Gyun Yun going and taking his position rightfully in goal as the announcements of the individual players. And Michal Panca at the opposite end, 44 years of age. He has been a cornerstone of the Czech Republic's goalkeeping situation and tandem now for some significant time. He is he's a veteran. As you will see, a lot of the players in para ice hockey a little bit older than you might see in ice hockey. As through the lineup here, the oldest player for Czech Republic is 53-year-old Miroslav Hrbek. As we are looking at the Korean lineup here, and the Korean lineup is explosive. Going through their ages, they're actually not as young as you might think from the speed that they're able to generate and the way they play the game. They play a high-octane game. They weren't able to score until the second period against Japan, and it was surprising a little bit to some that it took so long for them to get going with their goal. But when they got going, it was absolutely potent and a devastating performance they put on against the Japanese in day 1. But it's day 2. It's the first match for the Czech Republic. They're going to want to start quick, but they have got their hands full here. Make no mistake of it. Republic of Korea are here, and they have designs on a medal. Underway. It is Korea in blue with the red in possession. Czech Republic in white with the red and a little bit of blue trim as well. And across this line, they've seen it as onside. As both teams have a go at it to try and just get control of it in the opening stages here. It'll be a shot there. It's a good one, a left-handed strike. Here comes Korea. Panca right inside. The first 30 seconds of play is tested twice. And you'll see the Koreans, they look as though they may just as easily offload the puck and pass it, and then next thing you know, they've got a pocket rocket firing towards goal, and it's creating all manner of mayhem, as you just saw. As that is Herbert, who will just dump it in. As he said, well, he's on the north side of a half century, 53 years young. So some of these players, quite lengthy shifts. We've seen it where of the 45 minutes played, some of the stronger players can play anywhere between 25 and 30 of those minutes. And their average shift length is up over a minute and a half. So I'll be honest, I don't know how they do it, because they play the game at full pace. They have to be constantly working with their arms to generate their speed and to get to where they need to go. And this is the effort in here. But Panca really, unfortunately, couldn't take the first one with the glove, so he's making the saves with the blocker, but he punches it out 15 feet. He invites the Koreans to come in and take a second crack at it there. But it is a face-off now for Korea in their own zone. They were great against Japan in day one on the face-off circle. In fairness, though, Japan with only 2 shots in that game. And dirty, here's a careless turnover here. Watch Korea, and they don't get it off quite like they wanted to. The Rocket Man was on the back door of Seung-Hwan, and he's very much the face of this Korean program. He's 32 years of age. He was available on that backside as it's now Korea working from their own defensive third. Here he goes. Look at him start to move. They try to track him immediately, and he's nifty, he's fast. He's got great balance and core strength, and generally he's able to handle some of the impediments on his way, even if you think you've got a little bit of a bump on him. Generally his speed is traveling and gives him the advantage of getting to a place where he can handle the puck. A breakaway in the early parts of the game there from Joonsoo. It was on the power play. He'll take the face-off here. They've got a number of different options. And a year ago in the World Championships, Korea, my thoughts were that they were just heavily efficient. They didn't get a lot of shots, but what they did get, they made the most of. But here, what we've seen so far in PyeongChang is that they've got volume of attack, and they're also effective likewise. But this across the line, turning and spinning. He's just avoided. 3 players there, and a shot out there, but Panca, he just turns him into all manner of a somersault there. He did the reverse pike, I think, to try and make that save. As this will just be played on. And then Kubes will pick it up. Somebody's lost their stick. Kubes has got both of his. He'll take it over the line and tries to throw on the brakes, and the Koreans will just pick this up, and off we go. You see the flair, don't you, of what can come from Korea. As this time, spinning away. He's done it again, the offload. Just as good at distributing it as he is shooting it. And that spells difficulty for any team. That's a long dump in. The intention from a distance is just to make the keeper afford make a save. And it's not easy when their elevation is reliant upon their stretched arms. Here comes Korea. They got a partial break here. Are they going to get a shot off? They do. It goes wide. And it comes back to them. That was Yang Yong-ho. You listen to the crowd, and these players play to their home crowd. There's no doubt of it, the Koreans. They are totally on another level as far as the adrenaline they must be playing with. It's like they're floating just above the surface of the ice. This now played and into the corner. Just try to get control of it, but it's just even evading the Koreans in possession of it. And there, Royal just trying to smother this down here, just trying to keep it away from Korea, because when they've been able to remove it themselves, Czech Republic, they've given it pretty much straight up to the Koreans. They don't need any extra opportunities. Herbert gets leveled there. Herbert is a big body player for the Czech Republic, and he just felt the force of the Koreans there, who, as we're seeing, equally like to play with a little bit of a stamp on it. As this will be a cross diagonal dump into the corner, and going back this time, you see the forecheck coming in. Here he is, right on the money, is Seung-Hwan. This will be played at the boards. It'll be a little too aggressive, waved off though, as Korea on the reload. Their transition game is relentless, as here they come, trying to cut to the inside. Out front, the feed's a good one. Shafranik breaks it up momentarily, and it comes back. It's like a Wow, it's like a magnet, isn't it? Oh, the hitch and the hold and the save. What a beauty from Panca. Wow, as he just holds the scoreline. Czech. Whoa, and we saw a save there from Panca. That's if, well, if he can carry on making those, he'll keep his side in good stead. But you get a sense here with just the 3 shots for Korea so far. This one, a hitch, a hold, and you thought the elevation, it was there. The accuracy was fine. Just needed a little bit more of a trajectory coming off the blade as it goes right off the pumpkin. Panca, and he takes that square and then grabs the puck quickly for a face-off. The energy inside Gangneung Hockey Center is as explosive as anything we have seen in this building over the last 6 weeks. And he knows, Yuri Briza, looking on from the Czech bench, that of course the longer that this side, his side, can keep Korea off the board, the better stead it holds his team. But in reality, Korea are so forceful and so intentional offensively that it is very difficult to contain them. Deep now. Pavel down low. It's Geier trying to provide some support there. Now to the near side. That's a smart play. A good spin out by Kubes. He lofts it to the corner. Probably there, it's just as much a design to go to the far corner, just to try to have some offensive possession here, because taking one shot and having the goalie make a save and then Korea breaking out, call that one and done. One attempt, and then you don't get a second one, and then you're back playing defense. And right now, Czech Republic is happy to have a little bit of sustained play in the Korean defensive zone. Geier is one of these players for Czech Republic who's got speed. He can get on a breakaway. He can shoot from a distance as well. He won't be shy about that. As line changes on both sides, it's been a call to bring the face-off out just beyond the defensive blue line for Korea. So scorers in day 1 for Korea. Cho Young-jae got one, and the Rocket Man, Chung Seung-Hwan, he got one. This now chasing down Jang Dong-shin and equally Lee Pai-mei. So they are very, well, they've got quality throughout their lineup, and they are not just a one-trick pony or even a two-tricker. I would say they're at least a 5, maybe even a 6, as far as options of where a goal can come from. This a feed, it's a good idea. Has it just been kept in? It has not. And you saw him take that left-handed delivery there, and he was going to whistle one. I think he did just get a piece of it, but the whistle had been blown. So be careful there. That can be seen as unsportsmanlike. But that's part of the volume in this building. Not only is the in-house entertainment loud, but the crowd responds to any flicker of possibility. And it encourages everybody to be in voice. As you just see, just leaving the offensive zone. Now, right off trying to get this, it'll be taken by Geier. Right on him. Again, the Koreans apply a forecheck. He's been able to just create a safety valve play here, but they've separated Czechs from the puck again. You see they are just as willing, even more so in day 2, it appears so far in this match, to play physical, Korea. They've just been able to tidy that up. Could have just as, you'll see, plays can recoil. Players use the momentum, the sleds that they're on, sometimes having to, of course, using both hands to propel themselves and also handle the puck. There's a lot of moving parts that you can kind of get wrapped up in, and sometimes almost use the strength and momentum of your opponent to kind of spring you the opposite way. Trying to feed it through. Is it going to be offside? I think it is. It's a late offside. If Geier touches it, then there he is. He'll just bring this puck and the face-off just outside the zone. You can see the grimacing on the faces. That's my point. I don't know how they go for 2.5 minutes at full pace. It's aerobic, but most importantly in para ice hockey, it's anaerobic. It's a sprint. And comparatively in ice hockey, I would refer to it as a 400-meter sprint. Each shift that they take. Probably not the same, maybe an 800-meter in this for para ice hockey athletes, but it's a real small margin. Watch this, a shot there, rather a little bit early, that one. Just kind of snatched at it. Then quickly, Korea are on the forecheck. And it's 2-on-2 deep in this corner here. Raul Palat allows it up. An elevated shot there. That's a good attempt. You'll see that elevation work. Kind of a rainbow. Sometimes there's a pot of gold at the end of it. As the keeper will come out, and he is reliant, depending on just the hand-eye coordination, but he's got to balance himself on his own sled and propel himself around using his gloves with some studs on the back of the glove hand side. You see him propping up against the post there. There's a lot going on for the keeper of para ice hockey. Shot there, goes through a screen. As we are quickly here past the halfway point, inside of 7 minutes now remaining in this first period. Still yet to score. We've seen the flickers from Korea only offensively so far in the game. This will go a long ways. The Czech Republic aren't going to be able to track this down, and I think it's going to be called for icing, and it is. So as we say, the distribution of scoring for Korea. And you saw at the end of their match against Japan in day one, Man-Gyun Yun quite frustrated that he didn't get a shutout because it was a late goal that they conceded. And that's maybe where his stats aren't looking as sharp as maybe he'd like them to be. But this a quick shot here, it could be, or Tupuyard at the goal line. Come around and wrap it, but Panca does well to shut the door there. Shut the garage door before the fumes get out. Kind of what was going on there. As they had themselves all manner of congestion and danger looming, did Czech Republic, and they just kind of got back in time. I'm not sure that they're any safer now as a result, because it's still Korea inside this offensive third. Again, just asking questions, forcing the issue. I think that the Czechs have quite got their ventilation going as well as they might like to be, getting a more breathable passage of play where they aren't under siege. Taking it back here, Raul Decibel just offloaded. Skating strong, upended it. It's going to be a penalty though. Korea just come in and upended the Czech player. And a big hit there, takes him down and legs akimbo. As the Korean knocked right off the play. It's going to be teeing, it looks like here. And before we can even verbalize it, the Korean player into the box. And he knew it was coming. It was all about this engagement in the neutral zone. But this here coming around and looked to be on for Korea here is Lee Joonsoo. And Panca just does enough at the last second to be able to deny it there. Geier comes in, and you see them both go down in a heap. But the teeing penalty, that came in the neutral zone. This, the first power play of the game. It belongs to the Czech Republic. And will they in fact get the first shot of the game? They emerge from their timeout and chatting at their bench, and they're back to do battle. So is that man, Man-Gyun Yun, looking in. And the line's been quite deliberate about dropping that puck, as we see in ice hockey more and more, the same as para ice hockey. You haven't got yourself set properly. It's the visiting team, which is the Czech Republic. They have to get the stick down first. Then the home team has to get it down second. But equally, neither can move before the puck is dropped. and they are doing a better job more and more on the line of squaring them up, and players not getting the advantage positionally against their opponent in those face-off circles before the puck is dropped. That leads to an offside, and the referees just trying to gather their thoughts on this one. It's a 3-official system in para ice hockey. The 1 referee and 2 linesmen. It's a 4-official system in ice hockey. As you're watching, this is the team penalty. He just pops them up there a little bit, catches them side on. And immediately, referee Jonathan Morrison took a look at that and assessed this power play for the Czech Republic. Moving on there quickly. Spent a whole lot of time in the offensive third as yet, so this is Korea just coming back and taking the advantage of the extra space on the ice. There's a hit incidentally just off the play, and right now it's a little bit chaotic there because you see what the Rocket Man, Seung-Hwan Jung, can do. And a little bit of extra space out there, he gets encouraged and he wants to just use the speed. This is a very confused Czech power play at the moment. It's just unable to really get activated at all. I think they know that maybe these 2 nations are on different courses at the PyeongChang Paralympic Winter Games in the para ice hockey, but that's on paper. And what we have seen so far from the Czech Republic is commendable, and they have not conceded. And you would have thought, particularly the way Korea finished their match in day 1, that they might just pick right up where they left off and have a goal already. But it's been a stingy and a very stubborn and a strong, committed performance so far defensively from the Czech Republic. That one's taken. Their face-off tally is starting to tell, well, it's very clear already, 90% in favor of Korea, just winning those face-off drops of the puck. And that's a massive advantage if you're able to be getting the puck off of those face-off scenarios and the restart of play. This is turned over loosely again. And it looks like another penalty coming against Korea. And it's suggesting, is it an elbowing? It is. Morrison's got his elbow up like he's going to give his best version of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It used to be just The Rock, but he would give the people's elbow. That's off to the box. They've got Lee Young-min. He comes in. And I think, well, there's a little bit of a push there. I think it's how hard the Czech player goes in and bites the boards is more the issue there. But we have another opportunity for the Czechs to get their first shot of this hockey game. And from there, can they just try and loft it down? They do. This has worked out. This is going to be a challenge now for the Czech Republic. They try to come and take him out. They do. It's an excellent move. And they've been able, though, to draw a penalty, have Korea through speed. And they're going to give a team call. So we're seeing the imprint from Jonathan Morrison, the American official, on this opening period, certainly in the last few passages, as he was going to get himself going. So it was Kubes who came across, rather. And he made sure to just apply force physically against young Siwon. It's the only way you're going to deal with him, because you're not going to win in a race. He's going to leave you for dust. Geier comes in and fronts up. So we're 4-on-4. And a little bit of extra real estate out there in which to navigate now. Oh, that's a whistler. He was just loading up there. Thought about the backhand and then was just stabilizing himself, almost like he was setting up in a tripod position, just getting ready to just do a headstand. And then he just like corks one. This now just laid over to the far side in front of the bench, not even looking at the puck. Is the Czech defense. Just go and take out number 14. Dolezal was the player there defensively. Pavel Dolezal. That's an important move, because this is a little bit of a one-on-one. Geier travels without the puck. And down goes the Czech Republic player. So you say extra room out there. It will just be a 30-second power play for Korea, roughly, to end this period. Now they're across this line. They are threatening straight in on goal from behind. Raul gives him a little bit of the distraction, and sufficient enough to just force the Koreans to just lose the puck and now have to just, again, reformulate. This is just bunted on, and Raul is trying to get to it. Driving through. The players have played well, fronting up. And inside the last minute of this opening period, it's Korea with a power play right now, and they're without the puck on their stick, and so that's unusual. Some good defense being executed there by the Czech Republic. Everything on side, but Panca elects to just keep the play going. He generally likes to err on the side of a little bit of a risk. He likes to take a chance. And I say that because Korea can put together an attack very quickly. Like this right here. 15 seconds to go. If they got an answer to try to break this score open as it bounced off of Panca. It stays behind the goal. And these are concerning moments right now for the Czechs, as it looks like they've been able just to hold off the thunder from the Koreans in the opening 15 minutes. And both sides will have to go and have a little bit of a rethink as they prepare for the second period of action coming up. It's scoreless in the Gangneung Hockey Center. Host nation, Republic of Korea, in day two in match two for themselves. The Czech Republic in day two, playing for the first time. And their Czech fans can go have a breather as well, as we will allow the ice to be resurfaced. And there it is, confirmation that Republic of Korea and Czech Republic are scoreless after the opening first period. 4 shots on goal for Korea in the opening 15 minutes of play. And there is the goals and the shots combined. That's all that we've seen so far. There was a few other flickers of promise and possibility there from Korea. As we look across, there was power play time as well for the Koreans, and their face-off percentage, they are just absolutely lights out, 92.31 in winning those face-offs. So they've got it going their own way, but the goal to open the scoring, we're still all waiting on here in the Gangneung Hockey Center. It's the second period that awaits. And this is a little look back over the opening of this game. This was inside the first 30 seconds, and they had a double wrap at it. And pretty good crack for Korea to get on the board, but Panca makes that first save from a distance, and then the rebound jumps out at him, or jumps out rather off of him, and gives the chance for Korea to give it another go. And he does well to gather and get that rebound. And then from here, this was the hitch, the hold, and really they had Panca dead to rights. Could have put it up and over him. And again, it just, we're not able to elevate it there. And that's the challenge. He'd gone a long ways though, and maybe had lost his balance a little bit there, Lee Jung-gung. And by the time he got the shot off, he got a hard one off, but he couldn't quite get the trajectory that he wanted. And then here, it was a scramble. This comes all the way around. And Panca just swats that away, almost in a defiant moment of just disgust that he had left that far side so available. Just kind of blocks it. He did well because he's going backwards to get to that, to be able to close it down. And then here, a shot from the Rocket Man, as he just, what looked like he was trying to build up and was having trouble, it just ends up just getting the left shot off, or left hand delivery for the shot. And the way he had kind of fallen, it was just kind of gathering himself, pulling it together. It looked like he was maybe getting smothered out, but he found a way to get the shot off, and that's invariably what he's very capable of doing, as are many of the Koreans. They'll shoot from positions that you do not expect. Crowd continues to grow. It's been interesting so far. And I wonder if entirely the audience that have been at the para ice hockey are aware that there are 3 periods, because I've seen some movements where they've actually left the building after 1 period or after 2. There's obviously so much sport to see inside the Olympic Park here in Gangneung, where the curling is going on and the skating events as well. But it's an interesting one where I think so much comes on the back of the Olympic Games, where those who have not had a chance to come and see sport and join in want to come and make sure to see as much as they can and get a flavor of everything. As Korea will make their way out onto the ice, and listen to the excitement and the roar of anticipation from this home crowd. They are really falling in love with this Korean para ice hockey team, and they're the kind of lover that you just would want to be with, because they give everything that they've got. They are totally an impassioned hockey team, and they just play the game at such a pace and a level of risk as well, but not out of control. They're sensible, but when they get a chance to rev their engines, they are always willing to do so. But Panca and Man-Gyun, the 2 keepers, have done their job so far. After 15 minutes, we await the game's first goal. You'd be surprised if it was the Czech Republic after what we saw in the opening 15 minutes of play. It's not Korea's right to score first, even though it's what this crowd wants to see, and it's what Korea believe is coming. We await as this second period is about to commence. underway in the second period. It's Korea who wins the draw again, increasing their face-off percentage now up over 94% without doubt, as they'll just play it in and immediately apply the pressure onto the Czechs. And along it will just be the Czechs just trying to slowly, measurably make their way into the neutral zone. The challenge they have is the Koreans smell that puck. They're like a dog at the airport, sniffing for anything. They know where the puck is at all times. Boom, there's a big hit at the line. Both teams just trying to get a handle of it here. They are so willing to physically engage. It's interesting that Korea are employing that characteristic more than I had seen previously and maybe expected from them. You wonder if that's just a level of adrenaline and whether or not that's a good thing. Of course it is good, but if you're not used to playing physically, it takes a lot more out of you as well. And that might take a little bit away from your energy and then your speed. So it'll be interesting to see how they maintain that. As coming in, Pavel does a good job. Czechs collapse well and just prevent any real easy movement from Korea. We haven't seen them really move the puck around as they are capable of doing so far. It's just kind of creating these acute angles to provide and create an opening for a teammate. It's not been something the Czechs have allowed them to demonstrate or execute. That's hard into the boards, but it's okay, it's part of it. You don't come in with the front of your sled and tee in the side of a player to a great degree. Oh, there's a good shot there. And that is recorded as the first one, I would say, of the game for the Czech Republic. But anymore, I think there's more allowance in para ice hockey than there is in hockey as far as what you're allowed to get away with physically when you're engaging your opponent. So these guys are, in comparison to the way I see ice hockey nowadays, these guys are playing prison rules. As it's deep down in the corner, Safranek, the captain, just contours that one around the boards. And smart here, Palat does not give it up. They know that in the first period they were a little bit careless the way they gave Korea extra opportunities. They do not need extra opportunities to score. Korea are explosive. So they've been smart, the Czechs. They've not given it up cheaply. Everything that Korea does get, they're going to have to earn. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have to generate everything for yourself, it's a little bit more work than if the opponent's going to gift you by making silly mistakes. But this now is the Koreans coming across with some speed. They've created their own noise here. Watch it come for Panca, and he's breached. The first goal of the game has arrived, and it's 11:32 into the second period. Too many bodies, too many goal scorers, and Panca had no chance, really. And is the Rocket Man the one to get credit for it here? 3 in blue against 1 defender, outstretched, and then Panca is a man on an island there, and it is going to be given credit on the backside. Now they're going to give it to Jang Jung-ho. It might be the last touch of it here by number 21, Lee Jung-Soong, but either way you play it, it's a good goal, and you see just what it means always. Jang Jung-ho right now is getting credit for it. And I don't think the Koreans particularly care who gets it, as long as it goes in. So it is officially Jang Jung-ho, and he will get credit for the goal. And Korea are off and doing business now, offensively in this game. Czech Republic come right back though. And how about that, as they potentially answer the question for the challenge that has been laid by Korea. And Habel just fires one right into the midsection of Man-Gyun. And there's a little bit of a target there in which to hit. So 11-11 remaining in this second period. Officially, as you count in ice hockey, it's the minutes that have been played at 18:28 is the official time that it took. And have we got a high sticking call here? Is it a penalty or was it just the puck popping up? And we see Morrison coming across. There is no penalty. I think just indicating that it had been contacted above the shoulder height from the players, and then that led to the face-off here. You see the elation and the excitement. I mean, everybody loves to score goals, but Korea, they really love to score goals. As this now, it will be another face-off one. Just for interest's sake, let's just see. Well, it's 87.50. Now it goes to 88.24. That's the controlling element. That's a real challenge for any team. If you are without the puck, as in the most when they're 5-on-5, it's Korea carrying the play. And on each one of these face-offs, if you're starting without it again, you're really putting yourself under the gun.
Spectator area with great force at any time. 경기 중에 폭이 관중석으로 나갈 수 있으니 주의해 주길 바랍니다.
Bit of a challenge there for Frieza with his accreditation, and he's got the coaching board down there at the height for the players to read it, but he's got his accreditation across in front of him as well.
Please give them respect.
So the assist, so now they've corrected it. It's going to be Lee Joonsoo who gets the goal. I thought so. I thought he got the last touch of it, although it looked like it was probably going to go in off of Jang Jung-hoo. I think he had enough, it was going in, but just the last touch, he was just going, and you want to make sure that it's going to get inside that post. He had all of that momentum and all of that intention. You just need to have the accuracy, and he made sure of the accuracy inside that right post to score the first Korean goal of the game. And it's dumped in on the forecheck here. Create a little mayhem. That's their specialty. Generally the order of the day. The house special for the Koreans. How do we cause a little bit of chaos? And they've just fired it in here again. They'll do anything to light the torch paper, which is this crowd. If you get them involved here, they come again. Oh, he doesn't get enough of it. Oh, he burns his match, and there's not much of a flicker to that one. The goal scorer officially, Lee Joonsoo, gets a chance here again in a glorious position. And he goes to uncork one. And unfortunately, the cork gets ripped by the corkscrew, and there's not a lot to hold on to it. A shot in. Oh, what a snatch there from Panca. He almost picks it out of the air like we saw in Karate Kid with a pair of chopsticks catching a fly. And he just serves that back to the referee. Says if they want to shoot that in that area, I'll just give that to you every time. As this will be Habel. Take collection of it and fire it around. It's kept in. No, it just gets beyond. It's a delayed offside. Jung Siwon. We'll just have to reload. He provides the first forecheck. Who's going to get the penalty here? That's the question. If Korea touch it, let's just wait and see. It's coming against Czech Republic. So a little bit of an interference call, what it looks like here. Trying to skate onto it, but it's the Czechs who touch it first. Now Korea will go back to the power play. It's an interference penalty coming up against the Czech Republic. who gets the blame. We're waiting. It's going to be Havel. 2 minutes for interference. He comes across. No shame in that. You're going to have to take a penalty sometimes, and there's good penalties to take in ice hockey, para-ice hockey, in most sports. There are times where if you feel the momentum of the opposition is such that you're better just to disrupt them than to allow them freedom of movement. Well, you've got to do it. And that's what they did right there, the Czechs. They're going to have to hold in tight now. Buckle up, because it could get a little bumpy here, a little bit turbulent with this Korean side, who is going to just try to punch right through this match now. They scored a first one. They're going to try to open it up and double that tally right here in the blink of an eye. They'll lay it down. Look at this 1-2. 1-2, buckle my shoe. 3-4, they're going to want more. As this is a cross, and there's a chance here. Are they going to take the shot? The offload, here comes a chance for more. Oh, Panca throws up the desperation left arm and keeps that from reaching his goal. Oh, that was a flailing left-hand glove, and he needed all of it, or otherwise that looks to be labeled for bar down. And maybe a little bit higher than bar, just by the reverse angle look at it, but not much. He needed to get the touch of it. Seven to 1 as you see the shots. It's just generally an indication of the Korean intention. Kubes will just slot that down the ice, and that'll give a little bit of respite to this player advantage dynamic that the Koreans, well, they enjoy the extra bit of room, and of course the advantage of another 3 pair of hands out there to receive a pass, take a shot, be available. And moving in first is Siwon. He made that good service on the goal. This could be a heavy collision here. It's worked out, and that's a 720 spin from the Korean. But it's down the length of the ice. Inside of a minute now remaining. And this will just be slotted down. And I think from behind the red line, that's the challenge. It's not pricing. So good work from the Czech Republic to be able to just reconsolidate and solidify their defensive structure here. They've been able to, in the most, keep Korea at bay here. This is the shot. Now that was probably going to go over by 6 inches, but when you're Panca in goal and your responsibility is the last line of defense is to make sure it doesn't go in, you're going to make sure to touch that puck, because you have no idea just in relation to where your glove height is, where that crossbar really is. Flying off the Korean stick. It's around inside of 30 now. Can they formulate? This is a feed. It's a threatening one. They are potent from here, but Panca makes the save as he swipes that away to the corner. And again, just losing the handle, but they've recollected it. Put a little bit of rosin on the handle. And for here, out front, look at this from Korea. 1-2, it's again Panca. It's the Panca show right now, as he's kept this game at 1, and he looks a little bit undone right there in the Czech goal. Not sure what's going on, but you can imagine he's all manner of disheveled in there. He makes the first save. He's got to wait a long time to make the second, and I'm not sure how he does it, because you would have bet good money that from there they could have elevated up and over the prone Panca. Lee Jung-kyun looks straight in the eye of the Czech keeper. Again, good work from the Czech Republic just to find a way to hold on. Bend, but don't break. They're bending at the moment, there's no doubt of that. But they aren't allowing themselves to break down. The one goal that's scored, it was just beyond the defender's grasp, and then straight 3-on-0 basically on Panca. The odds are in your favor, but sometimes it can be a case of too many cooks spoiling the broth when you have 3 players like that, because you're not sure who's going to shoot it, who's going to pass it, And it showed you just how smart a player is Seung-Hwan, because he could have shot it himself. And he made that passing feed. And he had ultimately two players who could have put that puck in the back of the net for Korea. So very efficient and effective. They do have a goal scoring opportunity. Turning, but not controlling, as Geier comes in and applies a little bit of force here for the Czech Republic. He's looking around as to where the puck has gone. This, a heavy collision there. Those are quite stunting, those collisions. Those sleds, very light, the construction of the aluminum. But equally, you're coming in like that, like Havel did. You saw Havel almost come apart. He's got his Velcro off. Now there's Korea. Korea are dancing with the devil right here. They are moving that puck around like they're doing the Texas two-step. They still have it. And they are rotating here. He's riding the line. Oh boy, here goes, and it just maybe got away. A speed wobble there. Geier lays it. This is a smart play by Geier. They're gonna get a shot off here. Pallet. Geier might be the last one to it. Oh, he hitches and needed a little bit more hold before he got it here. There's a collision there at the blue line. As it come up, it's gone a little strong. It's gone long. It'll go for icing. And in this instance, the Korean players have to stay on the ice, and they've iced the puck like that. And the referee is very diligent in making sure to account for every player who was on the ice. This is Geier coming out and just quickly, as he could, getting a shot off and maybe trying to catch out Man-Gyun Yun and not closing down on that near post. But he goes wide. You see how difficult it is to maintain the balance. It's not as if these players are just scooting along on the base of a seat like a toboggan. They are on skate blades. So you're on skate blades and you're having to rocker yourself to maintain your core strength and balance so that you're not teetering down and totally losing the ability to propel yourself. And it's hard work. It's hard work to just stay upright, let alone be in a good balanced position with both hands to be able to shoot the puck at any given moment. It's won again by Korea. Played off the glass. And did it go straight out? Now here's the question. Did it go straight out, or did it go off the glass? Or did it go off of a Czech Republic player? It's gone straight out. It's going to be a delay of game. Can't do that inside of your own half of the ice. Play it out directly off of your own stick as the defending team. And that will lead to a power play here now for the Czech Republic. This game has just taken a little bit of a different complexion here over the last 5 minutes or so.
We invite you to take your seats at this time.
The indication there from referee Jonathan Morrison that the technical timeout was now needing to be executed. Kim Young-sung delaying the game will go in and has a little sip of water. You see there isn't a whole lot of requirement for a bench in there. It's a little bit like you might see in some of the training facilities, a little bit of an area just to handle the puck in there. Got all sorts of space, but what he wants is time. He wants time to diminish quickly. Does the Korean player, as his side now is faced with another disadvantaged situation here. As far as overall penalties in minutes, 6 taken by Korea, so it's given the nod here now. They both had 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the power play in this game. And that's gonna go up to 4:25 for the Czech Republic with this player advantage.
Team Republic of Korea coming in number 12, Kim Young-sung.
It's around, but it's not strong. It's in an area, but this here is well taken and ushered down the ice. First one to it is a dangerous position there. As you see how aggressive the Koreans are on the forecheck and electing not to hit the Czech player, wanting just to keep movement going, closing down passing lanes, and not allowing the Czechs to come out with a whole lot of time or space. closing down. We're inside of 5 minutes remaining in the second period. You see the power play clock there as well. Minute 15 now for the Czechs to try and do something with it. It's the one goal scored in this second period. 3:28 in the second. Joonsoo gets credit for the goal. Initially, it had been given to Chang Jung-ho with the feed from the Rocket Man. Got things going. This is going to be a chance, baby. And how about that? As the Czechs have started to just come back into this game. They're only a shot away. There's no need for them to be feeling discouraged at all, considering Panca has made some world-class saves for them. And that was the best of the game from Man-Gyun in the Korean goal. Geier, right straight into the feet of the Korean keeper, and then Havel tries to take the leftovers and slip them in the microwave quickly. It'll be taken here by the Rocket Man. He peppers one. I gotta say, that's 75 miles an hour that goes off the board there. Because these guys can get it gone in a hurry. Because this will be laid on and up the right-hand side. And it's a chase for the puck. Pichka trying to get there first, but he's just gonna have to hold water here. See if they can't come up with it, the Czechs. It's left the zone. They've had to regroup to be able to return and apply some force here right now. It's just gone into the neutral zone. And again, it looks as though the Koreans have been able to kill off another penalty. As back to 5-on-5 now. And they are flying here. They got a man wide open, and it's a misaligned pass, but they're still going. Where will they go to next? Almost an embarrassment of riches there for Korea with all of the options available to them. Here comes the Czechs. Look at this shot. And Man-Gyun throws up the big right hand and knocks it down. So, the Czechs have emerged here in the last 7 minutes, and they are taking their part in this game. They are no longer a passenger. They are definitely contributing and providing a challenge here for the Koreans. .244 remaining in this period. Here's the shot from the outside, and I'm not sure he entirely played that as he wanted to. You see the angle of the blocker. He almost fed that shot into his own goal there. Rather than punching it out, he was trying to direct it. That was a pretty cavalier direction if he was doing that intentionally. Right there, controlling Siwon, not allowing him to get going. This is much better for the Czech Republic. They are flirting with leveling this game before the end of the second period. You can feel it. And if it were to happen, you wouldn't be surprised. The feed up. They're putting passes together. And they are believing in themselves. This advancement is another clever play. Man-Gyun plays it on, but the Czechs are getting to it first. They have a sense of anticipation as to where the puck is going to. And now inside of 2 minutes, it's Korea having to make sure that every decision that they make right now, that it's been rationalized and well considered. Neither team can afford to be careless. They really need to think defense first. When you see this Korean side, they're very much a team that wants to play offense, wants to go on the attack. But they have shown a resilience here as they continue just to hold this puck to the outside. Good muscle for the puck possession there. And a smart little offload there as he just kind of passes the baton. And out it will come as they try to link this play up the length of the ice. Herbeck goes back and he'll go for icing as the big Czech Republican just sees that puck across the line. He's got his beard nicely braided has the big man on the blue line. Miroslav Herbeck. As we look back at the shot that probably 2 feet wide, but the angle in which it came from, it could have easily gone and deflected off of a player. Quickly, you see how aggressive Man-Gyun is on wanting to play the puck on. I wonder just sometimes if there is a case of maybe being overly aggressive, because he's not seen a lot of activity, almost overplaying the puck, trying to compensate for your inactivity, and that's one of the challenges. Got to be ready for the intensity of a goal-scoring opportunity against when you're not getting a whole lot of preparation for it with just the normal shots that you should be taking and making. So this has been turned over. Korea are right here. Look at this. Oh, he's gone off the bar and out. That's not in, but it certainly rang the chimes as Panca heard that and it's still ringing in his inner eardrum. As this will come around and be kept just at bay, I think. The Czechs have done enough to just keep this within a whisker, and it's a shot apart, but it's a goal in the second period that belongs to Korea. And what an explosive period it was for both sides as we saw the Czech Republic arrive into this hockey game and start to show a little bit of the character we expect from them over the course of this tournament in PyeongChang. It's a goal that belongs to number 21. It's an even strength goal. Lee Joonsoo from 55, Chang Jung-ho at 14, Chung Siwon. That's the standing at the end of 2 periods of play. Republic of Korea 1, Czech Republic still yet to score, but they're knocking on the door. In the Gangneung Hockey Center in the Para Ice Hockey Tournament, it is Republic of Korea with that slim 1-goal lead after 30 minutes of action. We move into the second intermission here and we look back just across some of the stats and flavor. It has been a dominant performance from Korea in the face-offs. They have the shot advantage as well, 11-4. Not as big as you might have thought just by the way they had been controlling the game. But we certainly saw the arrival in the emergence of the Czech Republic in the later stages of that second period. And as we regroup and prepare for the third period to come, so will both sides. Stay tuned. It's going to get interesting here. You can feel it in the Gangneung Hockey Center. A leveling of the decks in that second period brings the shot tally to 7-4. The advantage still for Korea overall with the 11 shots, as they were 4-0 up after the first period of play, just with these shots. But it's the one goal that's really all that is accounting for in this game so far. Surprisingly, Korea, with taking these 6 minutes and penalties so far, we aren't surprised to see them, though, dominating in the face-off circle. That's very much a part of their makeup as a team that we have seen in the first couple of days of competition. It is interesting, though, to see how the Czechs responded in that second period, and it sets up a very curious third, because the Korean side were able to, in day one, really put their pedal down and put Japan to bed with a couple of quick early goals in the third period. It'll be something that Korea will want to do here. As we look back on the goal that they scored in that second, it was a broken play, and it just led to this opportunity here just beyond Herbeck. He almost got it, didn't he? He was just totally prone there trying to get it, and you can see how disappointed Panca is, because he's been airtight, as that is a real deceptive move. And it was Lee Joonsoo who made that play originally under his sled and over to Jung Siwon, and then he ends up getting it back there to be the last one to touch it before he goes to the goal. And then here, a good shot. He gets another better look at it there as that goes off the glove. And Panca, although I do believe it was just over the bar, he has to make that save. There we have another look at it. Panca has been the best Czech player on the ice, and often the goalkeeper has to be, and he'll have to be the rest of the way to give his side a chance. This here, it looked like for sure that Korea were going to double their margin, as Panca was down and out, it looked like. But there, with a full stretch and just keeping focused on that puck and some support from his friends, they were able to keep it at just the one goal against. And then Man-Gyun Yun, this from Habel, the lay on here for Geier, a point blank shot, and then Habel almost gets that back, the ricochet, and could have scored that one there, maybe two. There's a little bit of room, didn't quite happen on that play, but you get a sense that the Czechs have a goal coming, and then right at the end here, it goes off the crossbar. And that is a tantalizing prospect for Jung Siwon to be in a position like that. They count on him, Korea, to score when he's given his opportunities. Is that a little bit of a let-off there for the Czech Republic?
Fans, welcome back to the ice. Team Czech Republic. 체코 선수들을 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. Fans, welcome back to the ice. Team Republic of Korea. 마지막 3피리어드를 향해 들어오는 대한민국!
And the Koreans return. The Czechs already on the ice. You see the linesman being quite like a shepherd there, making sure just to hustle all the players who are not in the opening shift into their bench areas, just so that the game can start on time and just keep everything running meticulously, as you would expect at Paralympic level. And there for the Czech side, you can see, I'm sure, a message delivered in the dressing room, but once you're on the ice and you're a moment away from the urgency of action, it's a great time to get the attention of your personnel and to remind them that this is their time.
We want to see how loud this hockey center can get. Last game's record decibel was 102.8. Keep your eyes up on the board up there. Try to get it higher than 102.8 decibels.
So 30 minutes in the tank. It's one goal separating these two sides right now as we close in on the atmosphere and excitement that will build here. And both sides are ready. Players have got their final instructions and encourage each other on as the countdown to start this third period. Is it the final period? Well, we're going to wait to find out, are we, in this hockey game? We will go to extra time if required. And underway for the third period. And just before the drop of the puck, this crowd set a new record inside for their decibel volume, as encouraged by the in-house entertainment. A little bit of an entanglement there. Man-Gyun Yun is still tied up. He's not in his own goal, and it takes a long time to get there. And as that left a little bit of an opportunity here for the Czech Republic while he was disheveled to maybe just try to assert themselves. They've come out here well. This is a different looking side now, the Czech Republic, and they have started to ask some questions of the Korean defense. And they start this third period here with a game plan, and they're executing it pretty well. It's Geier to the other side, just the offload. A little bit of a layoff cycle as they'll just work in one side and then over to the other. Body contact straight up there, as it'll just now work to the opposite side. Big hit coming in. That's Disheveled asserting themselves, and we're seeing a more forceful Czech side anticipating the puck, being assertive as they need to be, and having a better sense for where they need to be as well as they've come on the other side here. Look at that nifty work. Kubes just dancing again across this goal line. And he's got the puck. I wouldn't say he had it on a string, but he certainly had it with a little bit of stickum on his blades, as he was having to move it from one blade to the other. So momentary separation from the puck and the blade, but he was equally in command with both hands. As that's played in, just wide of Panca. This crowd, they are expecting another Korean goal. And they literally want to take this building here and jar its foundations. Out and elevated to the blue line. So that's broken up by the Czechs. They just congest things centrally at the defensive blue line, and now they're going to have to go back again and try to find a way to navigate this puck out of their own zone. Chasse, the first Korean for Checker, and then that one goes off the glass and actually leaves the surface of the ice. Energy is high, the score line is tight, and therefore the tension and the uncertainty with 12:27 remaining in this third period starts to develop. This looks like a promising situation here. It is! It's off the bar though. How about that as Panca gets it back? And it just, how does it make its way to bounce right back to him like that? You see that shot there. Seung-Hwan, a laser. I believe it goes off the post, and it's hard with the naked eye sometimes to just recognize. He coils it, and it's just dead right off the crossbar again. Dead nuts. As he pretty much puts a dent in the red paint there. You can see the mark that he just puts on the crossbar. As into the opposite corner. They work to try to come up with it. And linking on here. Heads up, coming in, and like a cannonball. Trying to roll right through, jump Siwon like a bowling pin. Just try to take him right out. Oh, Man-Gyun Yun, he's still over to the side. That puck was bobbling a little bit. To be making a little bit of a meal of it there on that short side. This for Korea. They keep their defensive mindset, keep their smarts about them. They've got the puck here now, out front. It's Geier. Geier hands it to Panca. That can be a scramble and difficulty as well. It's not always as easy as you think to control that puck, as the situation for Panca gets a little frenetic in front, as everybody just needs to separate and return to the respective benches and make a line change. The intention was Geier playing it on, but Panca didn't get that immediately. Could have, as he went back to get it, swiped that in behind him too. Korea getting ejected from the draw. A quick shot. It's taken, broken up though. Didn't have enough elevation or possibility to adhere for Korea. Just now weaving, and they've drawn a penalty, and that's a little bit of a weak ball. In fairness, it's a real slight touch, and given the situation, a little bit surprised that it's assessed. Coming across. And are we suggesting a holding here? Holding an opponent. It'd be interesting to see it on the replay. Maybe he grabs his arm a little bit from Michka. That could be generally the only thing that I would have thought there. I don't think it was interference. I don't think it was teeing, but he must have grabbed his arm as he was just getting past him. A power play now for Korea. The player advantage. And they have a real scrap here for the puck. It's been taken, but it's not been cleared. Pavel Kubes this time it will now go out. As a little bit of a swing to the open space, anticipating that angled pass that has to be so fine and so acutely placed in order to receive it in motion. Particularly when you turn your back. And that's the thing about para ice hockey. These athletes are having to turn their back on the play often in order to generate speed, get momentum, and try to create advantage. So, whereas in ice hockey, you're always pivoting and opening up and not taking your eye off the puck. So when you take your eye off the puck, sometimes the completions of the passes are at a lower percentage, and then equally, you're just not always taking advantage of maybe time and space. There's a huge collision. Morrison goes down, the referee, not aware of the Korean player underneath them, and he's a little bit shooken up, is the referee, as everybody's focused on the puck and they kind of lose sight of each other. He's just gone down on his knuckles there. Looks like he's been in a little bit of a tussle, and he's a southpaw. So 1:03 remaining in this power play. And over halfway now, as you see, into the corner, still trying to work to get control of what they've done here. And this is good work. Oh, but Panca, that almost just slid in there. And how anticlimactic it would be for Korea to score a goal as uneventful as what could have been on there. The goals they've scored so far, each of them, have all been absolutely dynamic. The 4 in the opener against Japan, and this one, it was well placed, but it wasn't as dramatic as we have seen from Korea. They count the same, whether they are scintillating or whether they are just matter of fact. Watch this here as they unbuckle themselves in the last moment. They look to be getting ready to hammer that down. As Cho, he lays that on. Joonsoo. The power play is going to escape Korea now. And now, on his own, he can score with a backhander from here. Panca closes him out, and look at that. Almost aerial, like he's doing a snowboard half pipe, and just the way he was able to twist his strength there. It's such an athletic move there from Jung Siwon. In that instance, he was looking just to kind of come around and shovel it with the backhand up. But Panca with a big body closed it down and didn't allow the elevation.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the PyeongChang 2018 Winter Paralympic Games, we would like to extend a special thank you to all of our volunteers.
This, a look at the weaving and the winding, and that, the feed, maybe catches Cho Byung-suk just a little bit out. We have seen Jung Si-won score goals like that, coming around on the backhand and then elevating it up. So it not only has that fearsome and coiled release with the left and the right, but he's got that elevated kind of lob shot in his bag of tricks as well. Korea just holding this puck in the offensive zone. They would desperately love a goal, would give them that assurance that they're in good stead here. This moment right now doesn't seem to have changed their style of play. They're only one mistake away from having it leveled and forcing potentially additional time. If they play the same, it appears no matter what the scoreboard reads. As this, just catching enough of them to slow him up. Watichka advancing it on, and you see the Korean player can't get his sticks. He's in the middle of well, a bad situation there, where he's now got his sticks back and he's able to move, but for a while he was... Oh, in front now. Are they going to score here? Well, just referencing that a moment ago with the Korean player without his sticks, it's like being in a canoe without your paddles. I mean, you got to wiggle and try to see if you can't just ride the current to get to where the paddles are. As he gets leveled here, Geier knocks his man right off the puck. Czechs are staying right within a whisker here. They've let open a little bit of space, but they've been able to close it down just as quick as it has been made available to Korea. We're over the halfway point of this third period. He'll spin out of this here. Uses those contacts to be able to kind of push off against. Out front, the feed here. That was a glorious feed. Now you've got a problem here. But Panca takes that off the mush. And then he freezes it here. Gets the cover of it with his glove. And that's how to use your head. You've got to. Sometimes, particularly in the goalkeeping position in para ice hockey, you haven't got the opportunity to use both hands. So using the head to get intentionally in the way of the shot is smart use of the elevated parts of your body, and particularly with Korea, who like to go high, you've got to do what you got to do in order to keep the puck out. There's another shot. That one goes over, and it just gets beyond the outstretched grasp there of the Koreans. From behind, it just comes out like a bar of soap. And this for Korea, Panca. He's the busiest man in the building. He and the organist are doing most of the work here right now with their fingers and hands. As this, oh, that's going to be a penalty. It's got to be, as they've just taken him out. Seung-Hwan. This crowd is bubbling and waiting for what would be here with 6:34. Wouldn't be in a knockout punch if they score in a power play, but it certainly would be a huge step in the direction of taking full points in this match. There is Panca, again fronting straight up. And you see just how quick he snaps and uses that. He's almost, it's incredible, almost dolphin-like. Just how powerful he is in his core strength and the way he's able to use his sled and his leg extension almost like a tail. Good work. And in, this is Panca, just again, at his total outstretched capacity, able to get to the puck. Underway, and it'll just be sliced down by the Czechs. This is a race here. Geier trying to be the first one to get to it. He does, and he just wants to play defense here in the offensive zone. And he's done a nice job of it. He's going to get open here for a chance to shoot. Geier in front, he scores! And look at that from the Czech Republic. They have leveled this here on the penalty kill. Oh, wow. That is a shot right across the bow here of the Koreans. And Korea right now, they don't know whether to go back to their corner and get a drink of water or get back to the center ice dot, drop the puck, and get going again. Geier knows what to do. It's high fives all around as he just slides that through the Korean keeper, Man-Gyun. And we've got ourselves a Korean barbecue now. Michal Geier and Kubes with the assist. Short-handed. Whoa, you talk about getting it done under pressure. Freddie Mercury would have been proud.
I'm looking at you to clear the goal, right? Like if they call down, they're going to call down.
Republic of Korea have called a timeout. They do not need a blow-up here late in this game. They have been in control of this game in the majority, and all of a sudden here, something unexpected has happened, and how are they going to respond? That is entirely what matters now. Both of these sides have the same challenge ahead of them, as that from Kubes to Geier was sensational. They're still in a penalty kill, remember. Power play for Korea, so that's why the use of the timeout. They want to take and get the most from this opportunity. And 6 minutes remains in this third period. Got a feeling that's not the only amount of time that remains left in this game. All the way down. Pushed on well by Man-Gyun. Played out. And Korea have just lost a little bit of their impetus here. Halfway still through this power play, trying to chase and get to it. And down the ice, it'll be clear. They're able to do so, remember, 45 seconds on the power play. Korea still just trying to line up a better passing sequence. A little bit more control, a little bit more of a game plan than they've had so far on this particular power play. They've had everything totally change at 38:55 when Michal Geier scores a shorthanded goal. Now they've got themselves a bouncing puck and it's got legs. As now, here's that man again. Well, it's not Geier. It is very close in appearance. Shafranek, 24, not 74. Lays it off here. The Rocket Man, the Pocket Rocket. And the Pocket Rocket, famously known in North American circles, member of the Montreal Canadiens, the younger, more diminutive brother of the Rocket, Maurice Richard. As across this line, it will be the Rocket Man. What a pass there! And look at that feed! How does he get that puck to bounce and to arrive, the timing of it? And Panca makes a save at a desperate moment here. And we've got ourselves a showdown in the Gangnew Corral. And a breather for both sides, as that was well spaced and timed to get across there. That's by design. It looks like it's a total fluke. It isn't, as he sets it right on the table, and the Koreans almost dine out there with a second. But Panca, you see the smiles for him, chatting with his coaching staff right now. Things are getting interesting, and they have been for some length of time now in this hockey game. But as we close down at the end of these 45 minutes of play, this is anybody's guess as to how it's going to go. Plot thickens, 3:58 remains, 5-on-5. It's a defensive zone face-off for the Czech Republic. And we are locked at 1. That power play was not only unproductive, but it was destructive. It allowed the Czechs to score a goal. Look at that. Geier has got that in his tickle trunk. He can shoot from a long range. I've seen him score from there previously at these world-class tournaments. And you need to be careful if you're the Korean Man-Gyun that there isn't a goal from beyond 65 feet that you're going to be tested by here. Those shots are troublesome. Everyone thinks they're easy. It's difficult to move in goal as a para ice hockey goalkeeper. Can't move laterally as quick as you might think. And yes, they're glove dependent in the most, but the glove side isn't always where the shot is coming to. As there, it's just sitting in his skates there as he's waiting for it to be played on. You see how challenging that is. As here comes Korea. This is a well-instructed pass here as the angle just escaped him. He'll try to cut to the net though. He'll come in. He crashes, and as he scored here, he has it. It's come out the other side. We didn't know where it was. You talk about going to the net with purpose. He certainly did that. And it's still live. The referee allows it to continue. Players are looking around thinking, is there going to be a call here? There's no call. It's inside of 2.5 minutes. A shot here, and there it is in Panca. It's still live. And get to the whistle, Jonathan Morrison, as he finally blows it. Legs up, bodies have been everywhere on that shift. As finally a whistle comes in. And a chance to reload, put another few bullets in the chamber with the remaining 2:23 in this third period. Oh, did he come to the, oh, you can see it there. Our vantage point from the front side, he had done it all. He had gone to the net with speed, he's gone to the net with his physicality. Surprised that maybe he doesn't get an interference call there. But because Panca's the bigger body of the two, it almost seems as though it was allowed. Look at this for Korea! Oh, it's blocked in front. Korea, backside, they don't know where it is, but Panca does it. Oh! What is that? And you saw it? Unbelievable from the Koreans. These Korean hockey players continue to just go one louder every time, and the way they score goals, you can't help but be as excited as they are, because it is stuff that I've not really seen before myself. The drama and the manner in which they score, that's absolutely near enough perfect, given the situation, the time, and the circumstance. You talk about arriving when it matters most. You're looking at what is likely to become a national hero here. If he isn't already, he's the face of para ice hockey, is Siwon. And maybe he's just to find himself here with a late goal again to elevate his side into what potentially could be victory. He just won't take no for an answer. And it comes again. Now, one more time as he got some more. He doesn't on this rush. He's taken out. No call. Carry on, gentlemen. It's going to have to be near enough a respirator that's going to be required in order for a penalty to be assessed. Wow. Watch it again. Of course there's every possibility, but he's been denied a few chances, but then it's the finish there. The finish is so explosive, so incredibly powerful and precise. And what ends up happening for a lot of athletes, when the moment is there, they don't fully commit, and this man fully commits to his moment, and it really is exceptional. A lot of times athletes are afraid of failure, and so they almost just aren't sure if they should go for it. That's not the mode. That's not the MO for Korea. It's all or nothing. And it's led by their number 14 as Czech Republic have called a timeout. And the question is whether or not they've got enough time after the timeout on this game clock to go out and get the job done. They scored the goal short-handed. It was a fantastic play from Kubes to Geier, but it was in a little bit of a broken part because they were short-handed and maybe caught Korea out. Surprised. 5-on-5 here now. I don't think there's going to be any surprises as to where the attack might come from and just what the game plan might be here. Korea play it in. $1:20 remain in the third period. And there's 3 of the Czech players. Oh, this is interesting. That there with a little bit of a guide over the shoulder is going to lead to a Czech Republic power play coming up. They put it down length of the ice. Inside of a minute they're going to have. You can expect that they're going to bring out their keeper, Panca, as well. He's come to the bench on the delayed call. And what these Korean fans don't know yet is that looming danger still is lurking in this hockey game. As 5 against 4, the faceoff is going to be in the offensive zone for the Czech Republic. And off to the box they go. Right here, the goal scorer of the first goal, Joonsoo, with a little bit of a guide over the shoulder, gets a holding call. And it could have been seen as something friendly. It was not by Jonathan Morrison. And is this another level and layer to this hockey game coming up? Pavel to take the draw. Can he win one at a key time? He can. And this, a feed here. What a possession for Kubes, and that might have been it. He doesn't get at all what he needed. But can it come from Geier? It does! Where and why is what the Koreans will be asking. How in this ice rink did that come to pass? I don't think anybody here can believe it. And I certainly am one of them. It's absolutely intoxicating in the Gangneung Hockey Center as they pulled Panca on a power play in the last minute. They had a chance from Kubes, and Geier comes and finishes the goods right through the Korean keeper. And you talk about a moment to shine. Yuri Briza punched the sky. Michal Geier has scored 2 goals. And has he stolen the show here? Is there another goal before these 39 seconds expire? Don't bet against it. As here comes Seung-Hwan. It's kept in, an elevated shot. Han Min-soo broken up. Here comes the Czechs. They've got strength in numbers here. They're still advancing. And Motichka into the corner, gets shoved out. And that'll just carry him off for the Koreans. And out and down length of the ice. And we've got overtime hockey coming up. It was Korea what looked to be in control with that 1 goal that they scored 3:28 inside the second period. And that, for the longest period of time, looked to be the difference. For actually 20 minutes of this game it did, until Michal Geier scored shorthanded at 38:55. And that is what set the table. And then we saw what you would expect maybe from Jung, Siwon. You are seeing him deliver and live up to his billing, and he scores the lead goal. And then with Panca out and a power play in the last minute, it's been equalized. We're level at 2 at 45 minutes between the Republic of Korea and the Czech Republic. And I'm going to take a little breather because I got a feeling there is more to come in this one. that is going to take your breath away.
All right, fans, we saw you doing this earlier. We want to do it again because it is the start of overtime. We got 1 minute 40 seconds before we start the overtime period. So let's start the wave.
10 shots in that third period from Korea. It's been the Czech Republic who have been more efficient with the chances that they have had in this game. 21 total shots for Republic of Korea, 10 for the Czechs. Those don't matter now. They both have 2 goals apiece. And the overall face-off percentages, the penalty minutes is exactly level. That shorthanded goal, however, is a big part of the reason why we're still playing hockey. In day 2, match number 2 between Korea and the Czechs. This man has a propensity to elevate his game according to the moment, and what is provided or what is necessary is what he's capable of providing. The atmosphere in Gangneung Hockey Center is as ripe and as ready for an almighty explosion of elation, or you don't even want to know if they were to lose. But the funny thing I get an impression is from this Korean crowd, they expect and want the best for their side, but they'd be proud of them regardless because they are leaving it all out on the ice. We're going for 5 minutes of extra time, 4-on-4. If we're tied after that, we would go to game-winning shots, 3 apiece. We have had a real classic as we're underway in the overtime period. And this needs to be sharp. As immediately, that was Geier trying to get off and take advantage of it here. Oh, Korea, the 1-2, buckle my shoe. Backdoor, they got more. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? You saw it, it happened. That quick, that sweet. It was poetry in motion from Korea, and they are that good as they will take the spoils in overtime over the Republic of Korea in 13 seconds flat. Unbelievable goal from, you guessed it, Siwon, the Korean king of para ice hockey, is putting on some sort of magic in this tournament. And the Panca, I don't think he's surprised because they just found a way to layer that attack. They created waves, they created dimension, and they had the linchpin on the backside. And can you believe what we just saw? My voice suggests that we can, because we all witnessed it. And the Czechs, unfortunately, experienced the short end of the stick in what was an incredible hockey game. Make no mistake of it. If there's a game that lives again to this one in the tournament, we will have had a spectacular Paralympic para ice hockey competition in PyeongChang. That was wonderful.
Republic 10 for Republic of Korea 22.
오늘 경기 슈팅 숫자를 발표하겠습니다. 체코팀 10회, 대한민국팀 22회입니다.
Both sides, with full respect for each other, acknowledge one another at center ice. It's a full-time in overtime result for the host nation, Republic of Korea. 3-2 over Czech Republic, and there's $1 million smile. It's $1 million won smile, straight up. And he's a winner, all right. He just scored the game winner. He scored the game winner, it looked like, in the third period, and then has to come back and do it again in overtime. No moment too big for the superstar that is Siwon. Man, is he good. In day one, Korea had a victory over Japan, and the way they went and celebrated afterwards, it felt like they had won the gold already. And then it looked like, oh, maybe there's going to be a little blemish on their record. And they come back here in day two, and they go one louder again. And if they keep going one louder, I will lose my voice. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They've done the full lap of honor, acknowledging this full Korean crowd who, what you're watching here, you're watching a love affair between these players and this nation. They just keep on delivering. All four sides of this arena will be acknowledged by these players and the entire coaching staff and medical staff and personnel. This is a total team national program effort going on here. It's been a 7-year ride since being appointed to the PyeongChang Olympic and obviously Paralympic Games as well. And everybody in this building is fully on board.
자, 오늘 멋진 경기를 펼쳐준 우리 대한민국 선수들에게 큰 박수 보내주십시오.
Coaching staff are throwing mascot dolls into the crowd. This is like we're at a rock concert here. I mean, this is genuinely what's going on here. It's like a celebration not only of sport, but of life. How about the finish? That was the first one. The theme, there's two words for the Paralympic Games and the Paralympic movement here in PyeongChang. And there are two that were in full display here in this matchup. Passion, connected. And you see the passion in this Korean national men's para ice hockey program. And you see it connected with this crowd who are fully in support of everything that they are putting on display here in the Gangneung Hockey Center. It has been marvelous, and we're only in day two.
Hockey session, please exit the building at this time and then re-enter.
다음 경기 관람을 원하시는 관중 여러분께서는 퇴장 후 재입장해 주시길 바랍니다.
The next upcoming game is between Team Canada and Team Italy at 1900 hours. We ask that you please assist us by taking your waste with you as you leave the seating areas.
이어지는 캐나다와 이탈리아 경기는 저녁 7시에 시작됩니다. 장내가 혼잡하오니 관중 여러분의 안전을 위해 운영 인력의 통제에 따라 퇴장해 주시길 바랍니다. 관중 여러분의 양해 부탁드립니다. 고맙습니다.